Hi everyone, welcome to the Macrame Kami wall hanging starter kit pattern. We're going to go over a few things before we start. The video tutorial is meant to supplement the ebook that came along with the starter kit. So if at any time you get stuck on the ebook or vice versa, you get stuck in the video tutorial, you can refer back to the ebook or to this tutorial to see how the pattern is done. I have listed here the materials you would need to make the wall hanging. For a complete list of all the supplies you may need to make the wall hanging, refer to the ebook. So to begin, we're going to start off with our 12-inch dowel, and we're going to take that 50 centimeter strand of cord and we're going to attach them on both ends using a double overhand knot. This will form the handle of the wall hanging. We're now going to place the handle onto the S-hook. I have my project laid flat down on a table, but it's up to you guys. If you have a rack that you can put the S-hook on, then you can use the rack instead. Now we're going to take our 20 200 centimeter cords one at a time. We're going to fold each cord in half and attach them onto the wooden dowel using a lark's head knot. Continue until all 20 cords are attached onto the rod. Once all cords are attached, we're going to start making a row of square knots. Starting from the left 4 cords, we're going to make a square knot, and then we're going to take the next 4 cords adjacent to it on the right and make another square knot. Continue until you have made 5 square knots on the left. Then in between the second and third square knots, we're going to make a square knot right under it. This is called an alternating square knot. We're going to continue with 2 more square knots after this to the right. Now in between the first and second square knot on the left, we're going to make a berry knot right under it. So we're going to start off by making 2 consecutive square knots, and then we're going to place all 4 cords through the hole at the top and then pull the cord ends through to the back. Then taking 2 cords underneath the berry knot to the left, and also the 2 cords to the left of those cords, we're going to make a square knot. Then taking the right 2 cords underneath the berry knot, and also the right 2 cords adjacent to it, we're going to make another square knot. Then continue with 2 more square knots to the right. Then in between the second and third square knot in the bottom row, we're going to make a berry knot. Next to the berry knot we had just made on the left, we're going to make an alternating square knot. Then we're going to split the bottom 4 cords underneath the berry knot and take the left 2 cords and make an alternating square knot to the left. And then we're going to go to the right of the berry knot and make an alternating square knot adjacent to it. And then we're going to make the alternating square knot on the right underneath the berry knot. In between the 2 square knots under the berry knot, we're going to make 1 more alternating square knot. We're now going to repeat all the steps that we had just made on the left side of the wall hanging, and we're going to repeat on the right side, mirroring what we just did up to this point. In between the third and fourth square knot down from the middle on the left, we're going to make a square knot. Then underneath and to the left of the square knot we just made, we're going to make a berry knot. Then underneath on the left of the berry knot that we just made, we're going to make a square knot. Then taking the 4 cords beside the berry knot on the right, we're going to make another square knot. Then right after that, we're going to take the 2 cords underneath the berry knot on the right and make a square knot with the 2 cords adjacent to it on the right. Then underneath the 2 square knots under the berry, we're going to make another square knot. And now we're going to repeat the same thing on the right side up to this point. Once that is done, we're going to take the middle 4 cords and we're going to make another square knot about an inch down from the first row. Then taking the bottom left 2 cords underneath the square knot, we're going to make another square knot to the left. And then repeat on the right side. Then to the left of the square knot that we had last made on the left side, we're going to make a berry knot. Make a square knot in the middle so that it closes off the square knot diamond. Now underneath the berry knot that we had just made on the left, we're going to make a left square knot underneath and then a right square knot underneath. Make one more alternating square knot in the middle of the 2 square knots you just made. Now we will repeat the same thing on the right side, mirroring what we just did on the left. Now we will take the middle 4 cords and we're going to make one more berry knot to complete the V shape. Make 2 more square knots underneath the berry knot and then one more after that. Now we will take the far left cord and use that as the anchor cord for a row of diagonal double half-hitch knots down to the right, stopping at the middle left cord. Then taking the far right cord as the anchor cord, we're going to repeat the same thing on the right and make a diagonal double half hitch knot row down to the left. Once both sides are done, we're going to finish off with one more double half hitch knot in the middle. Then starting from the left side, we're going to make 5 side-by-side square knots down to the middle. Repeat on the right side. Then in between the square knots on the left, we're going to make berry knots. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the right side. Now make one more fairy knot in the middle. Starting with the left again, we're going to take the left 4 cords and make a square knot. And we're going to make consecutive square knots side by side down to the middle. And then repeat the same thing on the right side. We're now going to repeat the diagonal double half-inch knot pattern on the left and then on the right to form a V shape, excluding the middle 4 cords, as we will make one more square knot in the middle before closing off the V. So we now have the middle 4 cords here, and we're going to make one more square knot in the middle before we close off both sides with the double half-inch knots. Make one more double half-inch knot in the middle. The last step we're going to do here is to cut off the excess cords to your desired length and shape. I'm going to form a V shape by cutting it diagonally on both sides. And you have now completed the Macrame Kami wall hanging pattern. Hang it up, take pictures of it, and show the world the beautiful piece that you had just made.